season. We know about winterizing our cars and homes, of course, before the cold weather starts to set in. But what about winterizing your garden? It might be a really good idea here. Joining us this morning is Amy Bales from Associated Landscape Contractors for Colorado. Good to see you always.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Okay, so veggie garden, that's a big thing. We had a first frost recently.
Yes.
Likely your tomatoes and everything's gone.
Yes, you may have lost some tomatoes. So now we want to focus on cleaning up garden spaces, basically to help prevent diseases, pests from wintering over, really just to create a clean slate for the next growing season.
So where do we start? This is a mess.
Yeah, it is a mess. So basically you want to get started with harvesting anything that you've still got left in your garden space. If you have herbs, you might want to pot those up to bring them inside.
And they can actually last where you can replant them.
Exactly. You can take them back
out. Okay.
Yeah, so and then you really just want to start with cleaning up anything that's left. So things like tomato stalks, generally we'd like to throw those away because these really can carry over a lot of pests and disease problems. They don't break down as easily in the compost pit. Any kind of vines, leaves, basically just getting everything cleared away from the garden space. Store all of your tomato cages, any kind of pots that you've got out in the garden. Basically just kind of creating a clean slate.
What about leaves?
Yeah, really you want to get all of those cleaned up too. They're great for your compost pit, but they don't really break down in a garden bed so well. They kind of can create funguses to grow in the soil. So really you just want to get all of that cleaned up.
All right, and what about straw?
If you have any root vegetable crops, you would want to go ahead and maybe cover those with a straw mulch because it will extend the growing season. So things like beets, Jerusalem artichokes, they're better if you dig them fresh. So you can get probably another month or so out of those, covering them with straw mulch. Another thing that if you've had problems with pests or disease, you might want to try covering your garden with just a black plastic. This is something that can help solarize the soil, which will help sterilize it. So if you have had issues, especially in tomato areas, it's a great thing to do. It also will help warm the soil. So if you'd like to get things planted a few weeks early, that's something you can do in the spring too.
It's a lot of times I always leave this until next.
Yeah, it's tempting. It's tempting, but it's going to be a beautiful day. So I would recommend, getting it cleaned up. And it's always just so nice to have a fresh, clean slate to start the spring with.
And you can avoid the headaches in the future.
Exactly.
Amy, thank you so much for the tips today. All right, for more information, go to our website, thedenverchannel.com, as always, and click on that big red TV button.